This is another reason why Jamahal Hill calls it Sweet Dream Stadium, right? Because whether it's flatline, whether he's just putting you out the old school ground and pound way, fists are flying, leather's flying, and people are getting put out of their consciousness, man. And I don't know if he was really able to accomplish that against Santos, but he did do something, like you noted earlier, that greats haven't been able to do, which is just finish him. And he hasn't been finished since 2019, since Jan Blachowicz finished him, man. He looked like he was giving Jamahal Hill problems when it comes down to the grappling, but everything on the feet, it seemed like it was very clear sledding for Jamahal Hill, man. I mean, we got an answer to our question. Our question was, all right, if Santos circles over to that power hand, what is Hill going to be able to do with it? And he was throwing that power hand. Looks like that power hand is back in action, right? But he wasn't having the same effectiveness with that right hand that he was having with a lot of other people. And I don't know if it's because Santos is just tougher than everybody, because it looked like he was using will to just not go down on some of these shots, man. Like, it was kind of crazy. He was putting in a valiant effort. He says, and this was a must-win. This is his first fight for him as a father. This is him saying, listen, I changed up some things in my camps. You're going to see the best version of me. We did see a more aggressive Maheta-style version of him, though, right?
Oh yeah. This was a great fight for Santos, and I want to go back a little bit to the intro when I was saying that I had him winning the fight up to that point. I guess it was more I had him winning rounds, man, getting the takedowns, doing a lot of other things that I wasn't expecting Thiago Santos to do. And in my mind, that's what I was mind blown. I was like, damn, this dude's actually working. He's getting a whole different kind of fight style around, and I think that's what was kind of giving Hill a little bit more problems, man. You can see in the end of the fourth, or even I think it was middle of the third, you started to really see Hill kind of start getting welted up, getting a little more cuts, a little more bruise, and the eyes starting to swell up a little bit. Maheta Santos, man, really gave a hard effort right here. And you're right, Derek, through straight willpower and stubbornness, this man did not go down. And Hill was landing some shots, bro, some absolute shots that would put out a horse. And Santos is just like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going down. And he would shoot. He'd get to the hips. He was a very impressive fight for Santos, man. Very impressive fight for both guys, to be honest.
But it was really telling, man, because it wasn't until maybe round 3 or so that the actual shots were having an effect on Jamahal Hill, where he was able to secure him. Because my whole thing is, I was like, man, Santos is wasting so much energy just trying to get to that double leg, and then he puts Jamahal Hill down for 2 seconds, and Hill just pops back up. I was like, okay, impressive. So I was like, on one hand, I was like super impressive by Jamahal Hill being able to be the full package, right? We really do know now when you don't just have a dude pull guard on you and then just triangle, you know what I mean? You can get up from some of these takedown attempts, especially Thiago Santos is a well-rounded grappler, you know what I'm saying? So Jamahal Hill, impressive on the feet, impressive on the ground. Thiago Santos, great bounce-back performance at the end of the day. Like, it was a good performance, but it wasn't valiant enough. My question here, though, AJ, is that for Jamahal Hill, I mean, is this the guy? If he fights Yuri, is this the guy?
Man, it's a hard question because not even the dark horse Magomed Ankalaev can put Thiago Santos out. He took him to the decision. And in my opinion, like when I see Jamahal Hill, I still think a young guy growing up, growing into the sport, growing who he's becoming. But this dude's a killer, bro. This dude's an absolute savage out there. He fights Yuri, or even let's say he fights Jan Blachowicz. Like, I feel like he'd be the underdog, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe Hill can come back and get this, and maybe he's the one that goes on the run longer than all the rest. Oh man, I don't have a solidified yes or no. I have a maybe for that answer right there, Derek. But that's a hard one, man. What do you think? Is Jamahal Hill the guy coming up?
It's just tough to imagine just the way that he looked in round 4 against Thiago Santos compared to how Yuri looked in round 4 against Glover, right? When Glover was really putting a pace on him, but it seems like Yuri's cardio, even though he was slowing down and whatnot, he still like has this like weirdness to him where he can still push full pace while looking absolutely exhausted. It's kind of crazy. I did want to point out though, for Jamahal Hill, look at the last 3 wins: Jimmy Crute, Johnny Walker, Thiago Santos. Santos clearly the biggest name out of all of them. Lost to Paul Craig, went over OSP, and then everything else before that was pretty much contender series stuff and all that, man. So I do think it would be fair for Jamahal Hill to fight a couple more top 10 guys before you get the title opportunity, right? But I think he already understands the plan himself. He said it himself. He was all like, listen, man, I'm going to beat Santos, and then I'm going to beat one more top-notch guy, and then they're finally going to give me my title shot. So whether that top-notch guy is a Magomed Ankalaev, whether that top-notch guy is a Jan Blachowicz, I mean, which one do you think ideally would be a better fight for Jamahal Hill, Blachowicz or Ankalaev?
Probably Blachowicz, but I think Blachowicz would have a little bit more. willingness to stand and trade and attack on the feet, whereas Magomed, I feel, could work the ground game a little bit more and had a little bit more of a mauling status for Magomed. I think it'd be a harder fight for Hill going forward. Whereas, Blachowicz obviously does have the wrestling, does have the stuff, but I think he would depend on that quote unquote Polish power. You start getting knuckled up, and then you're thinking like, oh, I can get one back on this guy. I think the ego is a little bit bigger for Blachowicz than it is Magomed, where Magomed has stayed a little bit more true to the game plan. What do you think?
You know what? I think both of them are going to be tough matchups for Hill, man, because both of them, they do have that wrestling very much in their back pocket. I mean, Ankalaev is a little more prone to use it. Blachowicz, though, why not just repeat the Izzy performance? If he can get Hill to the ground and take away the striking, why not, right? And, I mean, that's really the big thing right there. I just don't know, man. If somebody who's really like a takedown specialist fought against Hill, in your mind, you're saying that Santos was racking up points just off takedowns. But for me, I guess I just see it differently, man. You have to do something with your takedown. You can't just take someone down and just call it a day. Like, do something with it, right? And Santos, did he do much with it against Hill?
No, not really. I mean, not until the later rounds.
That's what I'm saying. So let's get the damage going. Let's do all that stuff. Either way, man, this is a massive, massive victory for Sweet Dreams Jamahal Hill. And listen, the sky is bright. The future is bright for my man. We'll probably talk about him in the rankings review just a little bit later, man. But nothing more to say. But huge win by Jamahal Hill. Now.